Welcome to Bind Christian School. My name is Amanda Rooks and I'm a teacher here in the two-day program. I have 3 children who are also students in the two-day program. Our goal with this video is to model for you what it looks like for us at home on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I will be doing most of the narrating while my children are going to be modeling for you what we do throughout those days at home. Welcome to our kitchen table. This is where we usually begin our day around 8:30 in the morning. We gather together here at the table with Preston, my 8th grader, Callie, my 5th grader, and Smith, my 1st grader, where we will have our morning meeting time. During that time, we'll be eating breakfast, and after we're done during breakfast, a lot of times we'll be having a devotion and sharing a devotion, and I give both Preston and Callie opportunities to read from that, and hopefully eventually Smith will be doing that this year as well. So, Preston?
You can do important things for God. Think of at least one kind and helpful thing you can do secretly for someone every day this week. Slip a Bible verse into your mom's purse or tape it to the fridge. Make a snack for your brother or sister. Say a prayer for a hurting friend, or be a behind-the-scenes worker for God today.
Just always lends to good conversation. So that is a devotion that we like to read out of Louis Giglio's The Wonder of Creation, which has a lot of great devotions about God and about science. And this year we'll even bring in the Jesus Storybook Bible that Callie is showing you because the grammar age kids are going to be doing that in class. So that gives us a great opportunity to share that at the table, no matter the age. And so we'll do a devotion, and then also we'll take some time to do some memory work, whether it's timeline or singing the books of the Bible or whatever the memory work may be this year. It may be scripture memory work that they're doing. So guys, ready? Timeline, week 1.
Creation, the fall in the garden, Cain and Abel, the flood, the Tower of Babel, unification of Upper and Lower Egypt by Pharaoh Menes, the old kingdom in Egypt, first intermediate period in Egypt.
And of course, mamas, don't forget your strong cup of tea or coffee or whatever it is that you want to drink to get the morning started. But once all of that is finished, then we'll clean up from the table, and each of them goes to their space so that they can get started with their work for the day. So once we leave the kitchen table from our morning meeting time, each of my children go to their areas to get started on their checklist for the day. Your two-day teacher will provide an assignments list of the assignments that need to be done. It's very easy to follow, things that they can check off no matter how old they are. So obviously we're working towards more independency and more responsibility the older our children get. But to start off with, I usually will start with Smith first because he's the youngest and needs my help more so than the others. But as the year progresses, hopefully he'll get to the point where he can sit and look at his checklist on his own, and maybe even do some things on Google Classroom because we use Google Classroom quite a lot. But we'll start off with math. I'll spend about 30 to 45 minutes with Smith working on some math and his math sheet for the day and some math facts. And then once I'm done with him, then I'll move over to Callie. With Smith, while I'm working with Callie, he will rotate we've got a basket of things together that he can get to work on some manipulative, hands-on puzzles, magnets, or he might be able to do something on his own, whether it's listening to a video or doing some other seat work provided. But we'll have to learn that as the year gets started because this is a little newer than last year when he was in kindergarten. So while he's doing that, then I'm gonna sit with Callie and go over her checklist with her, whether it's her math paper. Did you get done with your math paper? All right, let's go over these problems, okay? And I'll go over that, check that, review for test, whatever it may be, but I'll take 30 to 45 minutes and really just continue that pattern back and forth throughout the morning as needed. And obviously one's probably gonna get done before the other, but just to make sure that there's some accountability between both of them and teaching them independency and responsibility along the way. So this is Smith that today he chose to work on a puzzle while I'm working with his sister, Callie. But you can also see there's a basket with all kind of manipulatives. This happens to be our math basket, but as the year progresses, I'll add other things, other different kinds of manipulatives. So he has lots to choose from that will give him something to do so that I can take turns going between the two of them. Last but not least, I moved to Preston. Because he's more independent, moving into the 8th grade, I'm able to go between Callie and Smith, and I like to get all of their things out of the way. A lot of times I'll even work with them together on things, even if it's calling out their spelling words to write those down. But Callie just continues on her checklist until she gets everything done, and she waits to ask me questions when I get there. But then Preston, usually by the time I get to him, he's covered everything he needs to cover. He's got his checklist over here that he's going through for all his different classes. Each of his teachers has given him one. And so what I do, there's obviously some things that I'm gonna be able to help him more with than others, right, Preston? But I do my best to help him study for whatever test he may have, help him with editing some papers, whatever it is that we need to work on. And he's learned too, not to be too shy about asking me to help. I want him to know that that's what I'm here for, to teach him to become more responsible and to become more accountable to that. And then once we go through all that and we get finished with all the checklists, making sure that they've done everything, and really we go by Colossians 3:23 even at home. Whatever you do, work heartily for the Lord and not for men. And we talk about that through our work. Have we done this to the best of our ability, just all throughout the year? Lastly, I will leave you with this. Every day is not perfect for us. Every day doesn't look the same. There are days that have tears more than others. There are days that have whining and complaining more than others, but there are also days where we're laughing together and we're learning new things together. And so I just consider every day a blessing. Even though they're not perfect, every day is a blessing because you have the opportunity, and I have the opportunity, to be at home with my children and to continue to pour into them, to disciple them, to show them what Jesus looks like. And when you didn't get it right, it's okay. You can give yourself grace. Don't be afraid to give yourself grace, to give your kiddos grace, because we're all gonna need it. We need it each and every day. And so I hope that this video has helped to shed some light onto what it could look like for you at home. And if at any time you have any questions about anything, then don't hesitate to reach out, because that's what we're here for, to come alongside you in this new journey that you may be on, to help you to run this race well, and run it with perseverance and run it with endurance.